All right, is this party started here? Is it on? I've had requests on these live streams to schedule them in advance so people know when they're going to be on. And I guess that's probably a good idea. I finally figured out how to do that. So I scheduled this one for a few minutes in advance here. Let's see, it looks like we already got 37 people in here. I guess that whole scheduling in advance thing worked out. I'll give it a couple more minutes here and let some more people get signed on. But I thought what I'd do in this video is just kind of do like a little recap. I know a lot of you had questions you were asking me this week that I just couldn't answer at the time because I didn't want to give any tips to my competition over there. But I thought I'd come on here tonight and be able to answer those for you. So we'll give it a few more minutes here and then I'll kind of get this thing started. Wow, 68 people in here. Blows my mind that so many of you tune into this crap. These live streams, I've never been a live streamer here. It's new to me the last couple weeks here. And I definitely don't watch these things. The whole live stream process ain't for me, but a lot of you seem to enjoy it. So I'll try to do more of them. I was hoping to go live out there this week some on Santee Cooper, but the cell phone reception was just so bad. We did our award ceremony this morning and we couldn't even go live from there. It was just awful there too. So anyway, guys, looks like we're about a minute and a half into this. So I'll go ahead and get this party started. So I've been over there for the TCKA National Championship on Santee Cooper. It was a 2-day tournament, 3 longest fish on each day, Friday and Saturday. Friday was a brutal day. I mean, the wind was just kicking and it was just, I mean, it was relentless. 15 miles an hour, 25 mile an hour gusts. It was awful. But that wind helped me, believe it or not. That wind saved me from myself because I went over there with the plan that I was going to fish there just like I fish here on the Tennessee River. I was going to target deep structure and ride or die by it. And that wind prevented me from doing what I wanted to do, which would have ultimately probably caused me to lose if I did what I wanted to do. Because everybody that reached out with advice, telling me what I need to do for this tournament, said, Justin, fish shallow, 2 feet deep, 5 feet deep. If you think you're fishing too shallow, you're not shallow enough. And I'm like, man, I never fish under 30 feet deep here where I'm at. I just ain't comfortable with it, I ain't gonna do it. But that wind on Santee Cooper, it don't take much wind because it's just so big. It don't take much wind to get them waves really rolling. And those high winds, it would have just been unfishable where I wanted to go. So I was forced to fish shallow and it paid off. I mean, that wind was blowing right into the area I was set up on. And in our rules, we have a rule that says we can fish from the bank as long as we access that bank spot with our kayak. So I didn't bother fighting the winds. I went out there, set up my kayak on that shore and cast my lines out. And the area I was fishing, it was basically just a 5 foot deep area surrounded by shallow water. And them fish had to come a mile or more. No matter which direction they came from, they had to come a mile or more through 2 to 3 feet deep water to get back there. But I ended up there on Friday. I caught 4 fish all over 40 inches. So going into Saturday, I was in good shape. I had a 24-inch lead over the second place person, Jesse O'Neill, going into day 2. So I was feeling pretty good on Saturday. But things changed for me on Saturday. I went back to that same spot and the weather was much better. The wind died down, the sun came out, and so did all the boaters. The fishermen were everywhere, and this area was so tight. The area that they could get their boat through to go out this canal to get to the main channel wasn't far from my lines, for them to be able to pass by. So I think all that boat motor noise and all the boats going through just had the fish scattered. So it got to be about noon. I didn't have a bite, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm going to get skunked on the final day and end up losing this tournament after having such a big lead, because the guy in second place, Jesse O'Neill, he had got a limit early. And so he had regained the lead over me. And I'm like, man, I got to get some fish. So I made a decision to leave that spot. And I went out and hit the main channel and got on a deeper ledge. And that ledge, again, the body of water is just so big. You pull up Navionics and look at a spot and you'll think, well, that's not that far away. And then you have to get out there and get going. And you're like, holy cow, this is forever away. So it took me 30 minutes to get to the area that I wanted to fish. So I got out there, started trolling, wasn't catching anything, but I was marking a ton of fish. So I decided, I'm gonna anchor down here a minute and just see what happens. So I caught a striped bass, and a little while later, finally hooked into my first catfish, which was a 38-inch blue. So at that point, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. I've still got several hours to fish, and I'm like, all right, I'm on the board. We got the skunk out. We'll keep going with this. So I kept trolling some more, anchoring down when I would mark fish, and I just couldn't put anything more together. And the wind kind of started to pick up a little bit. It wasn't bad, but it was getting some big chop out there. And so I was like, well, I'm going to scrap this plan and just make the 30-minute run back to where I was fishing before and set up for the rest of the night and hope that some fish moved in there after dark once all the boaters got off the water. So I got there, got set up before dark. Wasn't there long when I got another bite. I got a 40-inch blue there. And so at that point, I'm like, all right, I got 2 fish. I got several hours to go. I've regained the lead, even though I don't have my limit. But I was like, I don't have a comfortable enough lead, because if Jesse had updated one of his fish, if he had been able to upgrade at all, he was going to retake the lead. So I had to finish out my limit. And I sat out there for the rest of the night, and I could not buy a bite. I mean, if I'm fishing 3, 4, 5 feet of water here on the Tennessee River, I would catch 6,000 channel cats and blues, just small dink-sized fish. I could not buy a dink out there. There's no dinks in Santee Cooper. I'm convinced of it. They don't exist. But finally, last night, about 10:45, my rod took off, and I got another fish that was over 40 inches. And that fish sealed the deal for me. That gave me 247.25 inches, which got me the win. So I got first place in this tournament. I won the big fish prize, and also won our group's Angler of the Year award for the other tournaments I'd won previously. So ended up winning a little over $1,000 in cash, and I won a brand new Canoe Frontier 12 kayak. So it was a big payday for me, and I'm thankful for that. And I also want to say a big thanks to Eric Bell. Unfortunately, Eric Bell had qualified for this tournament and wasn't able to make it up there due to some car issues. But instead of taking a refund on his entry fee, he decided instead to donate that to our group. And he put that money toward the big fish prize, which I ultimately won. So thank you very much, Eric. I wish you could have made it. But, guys, I wish I could have showed you the award ceremony today. I would have loved to have gone live there, but the cell phone service was just too bad. Ron did film it with his phone and later uploaded it to Facebook, which I shared on my Kayak Catfish Facebook page if you want to check out the full award ceremony. And it's on the Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers page too there if you want to check him out. So, it was a great morning. It was a lot of fun fishing this event. Mentally and physically exhausting out there just from the weather and the long hours, and you can probably see it in my face. I am sunburned and windburned and pretty dang tired. It's a 6-hour drive to get back home today, but I wanted to come on here. I know so many of you were following me and wishing me well in this and rooting for me, and I really appreciate that. It made it a lot of fun, and I wanted to come on here and give you an update and let you know how I did. So pretty thankful for the win. And looking forward already to getting started next year and seeing if I can defend my national championship title. So let me start scrolling through these comments. Lord Almighty, I've been rambling on here for 8.5 minutes. Let's see who all's on here. Got Bush's Beans, Jimmy Cardwell, Tom Edwards, Mark Grant, Mountain Way Adventures, Thomas Wicker, Christopher Peters. Oh, Pitch Chapel saying can't hear anything. I hope my hand wasn't covering the microphone the whole time. It probably was. This whole cell phone thing is a problem. I hope y'all can hear me. Thank you to everybody who's saying congratulations. I appreciate that. Clinton Payne, what's up? 17 hours more. Yeah, 17 hours yesterday to catch 3 fish. It was just unreal. I couldn't find a dink out there. I mean, just anything to complete my limit. I couldn't get it. Just had to grind it out and keep going. Where are we at here? 126. I can't even see how many people's in this thing now. I don't know. It's amazing to me this many people tuning in. Hey, Danny, I hope you catch a big one tonight. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Yak Addict. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Kyle. Lord, everybody's congratulating me here. Thank you all. Appreciate all the congratulations and well wishes. I had so many people reach out to me this week and offering up their secret spots out there. And I tell people, look, I'm doing the whole YouTube thing. I don't hide nothing on my videos. You give me a spot, I'm gonna burn it to the ground. Everybody was more than willing to help me out. And Brandon Jackson, the guy who hooked me up with the spot that I fished, that's a great spot, and I feel bad for him because everybody's going to be out there now when they see the fish I caught off this spot. Where are we at here? Some more congratulations. Thank you all so much. Good on my, okay, good. I'm glad y'all are able to hear me. I'm sure my hand was probably covering the microphone portion. I dropped my phone while I was out there. We had damage to my kayak and damage to my phone. I cracked my phone this week. Do I plan on fishing out of the kayak I want? Maybe. I've had problems with NuCanoe in the past. I didn't have a great experience with the first one I had, but the first one I had was the Pursuit model, and it was used. So this one will be brand new, have a full warranty, and so I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out. I've never been in the NuCanoe Frontier model, so I'll give it a try. Have I tried noodling yet? No, I don't do the whole noodle thing. I ain't sticking my hand to no crevices I can't see. I'm always afraid of snapping turtles. I mean, my gosh, I can't imagine people aren't losing fingers to them big things. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate you waiting all day for this, man. I'm sorry. I wish I could have gave an update earlier. We did that award ceremony at 9 a.m. and we stood around and talked out there. And before we knew it, it was like 1 o'clock. And several Lovians come out there just to meet me and shake my hand and see the award ceremony, and I'm truly grateful for that. It really warms my heart to know so many of you care enough to drive all the way out there to see me this morning. Where are we at here? Oh, thanks, Tom. Hopefully it was just that one person there that couldn't hear. Where are we at? Man, 194. That's amazing. I can't believe people tune into this. Let's see. I was trying to think about some questions I was asked this week that I couldn't answer at the time. Obviously, like I said, I was fishing from the bank. There's a rule that's allowed in our group that we can fish from the bank as long as we access that spot with our kayaks. So with the wind blowing as bad as it was, I said, I'm not going to fight that. So I parked on the shore, cast my lines out, and basically just bank fished. That was the first trip of my life catfishing from the bank, believe it or not. When I started catfishing, I was already fishing out of a boat then. So back in my bank fishing days, my teenage years, I was after bass and bluegill or whatever. So it was a lot of fun fishing from the bank for big catfish, especially when they're in that shallow water. But that's what I did. I used white perch for bait. That was the only thing I could catch fish on day one. Day two, I got one of my fish on white perch, and the other two actually came on bluegill. Last night, it was kind of a Hail Mary to throw an old bluegill I had in the cooler out there just to try and mix it up and throw a different bait on. And so I got 2 fish there on the bluegill. But the mullet, the herring, those baits like that people had told me I should try, I couldn't get nothing on it. Spent $38 over there at the bait shop and couldn't catch a thing on it. Also this trip too, I did catch my first bowfin. I actually caught my first, second, third. I think I caught 3 total bowfin over there, so that was pretty cool. Just to try to catch something different. But if you're going over there to Santee Cooper at all, don't go to bait shops. Don't bother taking bait with you in advance. There is white perch literally everywhere, and people told me that, but I had no idea they were that prevalent over there. You could throw out some jigs no matter anywhere you were on the lake, and you would have white perch all over it within a few seconds. I mean, it was just unreal how much bait was over there. I'm rambling again here. Where all am I at here on the chat? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to overlook some of these comments and miss some of them just because there's so dang many, and I apologize for that. If I feel bad, but I really do. I feel like if you're tuning in to see me and spending your time with me, I ought to respond to every comment, but unfortunately, there's just too dang many of them, and this YouTube live stream thing keeps scrolling, and I can't ever figure out where I stopped off last. Let me scroll down here some more. Sorry, guys. I know you're watching me, watching you in the comments. That's the joy of live stream. See if I can find some more questions down through here on this thing. Hey, thanks, Jay. I appreciate you supporting my channel here. Thanks, Charles, Mark, Savage Boy 28. There's your shout out. How much am I selling the new kayak for? I don't know yet. We'll have to see on it. I got to get it first. New canoe is going to be delivering that to my local dealer, and I'm gonna pick it up from there. So I didn't have to. That's really a big help to me. I took my roof rack for my car over there with me this week, just in case, just to have it. But I was really thankful not to have to haul it all the way home on top of my car. It really kills the gas mileage to roof rack a kayak. Evan Turpin, the championship was at Santee Cooper, South Carolina. I fished Lake Moultrie over there both days. Jimmy Cardwell, heck yeah, I know that the haters hate. You can fish for me. Yeah, I tell you what, Jimmy Cardwell, I've had so many people, give me flack saying the only way I can catch fish out here on Tennessee River, I wouldn't do well if I went somewhere else. So you bet your ass I was working hard. I was motivated to go over there and do well because that body of water is so different. But yeah, now the new haters will say I shouldn't have been fishing off the bank. That's what the new thing will be. Shouldn't fish a kayak fishing tournament off the bank. But everybody, we all play by the same rules. I was just the only one that took advantage of it. Eric Wallace, when's the next yard sale? Probably next year. I sold out of everything, all my junk this year, so I'll have to accumulate some more junk for the next year, and we'll do another one probably next late summer, late fall. I'm gonna have a better plan for next year's yard sale. Apparently, YouTube didn't like people putting their email address, their PayPal address in the comments, and so that's apparently why people's comments were disappearing. I guess they were getting flagged as spam or something. So I'm gonna have to come up with a better system for next year's yard sale so everybody has a fair chance. Zach Plummer, what was your best bait out there? White perch, far and away. I couldn't get a bite on the mullet, couldn't get a bite on the herring. The white perch was the only thing I could get a bite on day one, and then day two I got 2 fish on bluegill, which those are 2 of the biggest fish I've ever caught on bluegill, to be honest with you, because I catch good numbers on bluegill here, but I don't get a lot of big fish on it. How did I damage my kayak? I guess I threw a rock on the road. I was trailering it over there, and I knocked a divot out of it. A lot of kayaks, it would have put a hole through it. It was that deep, but my Hobie, that part of the hull, especially on the Hobie, is very thick right there. You ever fished Georgia tournaments? No, I've never been down to Georgia on any tournaments. If they have them down there, I'll certainly consider it. I don't know where the national championship for next year's tournament is going to be held at. Let's see. Danny Kell asked what I was using for bait. I probably already answered that there since he's asked. Did I use a different rig fishing there in Tennessee? No, I used the Carolina rig. I took my dragging setup over there. I thought I'd spend a lot of time dragging. And I had everything. I was going to drag, I was going to suspend, I was going to anchor down and cast. I mean, there was nothing off the table going over there. But I really expected to spend a lot of time dragging, but I ended up just doing a Carolina rig, a little 2-ounce sinker, 10-aught mustad hook, and just put small baits out. Use small baits, one, because we had that big cold front come through, and I thought they'd probably, if they're back there in shallow water still, they're probably going to go after a small bait. And also, too, the white perch I caught was just so small, I couldn't really get a big bait out of them. So that's what I used for that. Palmetto Cats, I ended up winning. I won the thing 247 1/4 inches. Jesse O'Neill came in second place with 196 inches. And Tim Peppers got third place. And honestly, can't remember his score. It was 100-something inches. Thank you, everybody that's congratulating me. Stephen Murray, thanks, man. I wish you could have been over there. I wish you could have been over there getting beaten to death by the wind like the rest of us. It was a lot of fun. We had a good group. It was a small group of guys over there, but everybody was real helpful, and we had a good time fishing with each other. Here in Texas, we fish between 2 and 5 feet of water. Hey, Jesse, I'll tell you what, man. This shallow water fishing's something else. You fish here in Tennessee, where I fish, you fish in 2 to 5 feet of water, you ain't going to get nothing but dinks. But over there in Santee Cooper, man, huge fish. And I mean, they got to travel miles to get back there to where I was at. And they was still cold front and all, didn't phase them. They just back there barely in water deep enough to cover their backs. Huge fish. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Evan Turpin, I'm going to be fishing from the bank some more. You know, I'm a big fan of Catfish Dave's YouTube channel, and he makes bank fishing look like a lot of fun. So I had been wanting to, you know, get me a couple bank fishing setups anyway and do it. And, you know, having fun over there this week, bank fishing, catching them big fish, shallow water. I definitely want to try it around here, and I'm going to have to get me some better gear for it. I was able to use my regular rods over there just because I didn't have to cast very far. You know, I was fishing so shallow. But around here where I got to reach the deeper water, I'm going to have some setups like Catfish Dave has. Where am I at here? Sorry, guys, again, I know I'm going to be missing people's comments here. I don't mean to be rude to anybody. Charles Golson, was there ever any doubt? Hey, man, I had some doubts on day two when I had gotten skunked and didn't have my first fish till 2:30 in the afternoon. I thought I was going to choke. I was going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers of the kayak catfishing, have a huge lead going into the final day and blow it. Nathan King, no, I didn't use the bucket style rod holder. I used the kayak style rod holder. I made a Facebook post about that. I thought Catfish Dave would say I was using a kayak style bank fishing rod holder. And speaking of bank fishing rod holders, there's a guy named Wayne Murray. He was over there at the award ceremony today. He come over there and met me. Had a damn good looking shirt on. It's one of them old kayak catfish shirts like I got on now. And he brought me a bank fishing rod holder. He makes them and it looks awesome. And I'm gonna try that out here when I get set up for do some bank fishing here. Oh my gosh, I lost track of the damn comments again here. I took my thumb off of it and it scrolled up. My gosh. Hey, Yak Addict, give me $3, man. That's awesome. I appreciate them super chat donations, man. That's awesome. I had so much help there with the donations. It means a lot. Let's see what your question is. All blues or any other species? It was all blues as far as catfish goes. I didn't catch any flatheads. To my knowledge, I don't think any of us caught any flatheads. I think every fish turned in was blues, but everybody, at least I think anyway, I think we all fished Lake Moultrie. And at least what I was told anyway is the flatheads are more populated on Lake Marion. So yeah, all blues for me as far as catfish goes. Now I did catch one striped bass over there, and I caught some bowfin. I think I got 3 total bowfin, which I'd never caught a bowfin before. So the first one was really cool to get a new species. The second and third bowfin I caught ate my cut bait. And so that was a kick in the gut because 1, they stole my bait, and 2, I was expecting a catfish. So, but yeah, they were a lot of fun though. And again, thank you, Yak Addict. I really appreciate that super chat donation. It means a lot to me. Dave Gordon, get my words tangled up here. I'm tired. Just looking forward to the videos from this weekend. Yeah, I haven't uploaded the footage yet here to my computer. I hope everything turned out. The wind was just so bad. I hope it didn't mess up the footage. And I hope I got some good footage. You know, I'm not Catfish Dave. I'm not really set up for the whole bank fishing thing. I had to go to the store and buy a tripod to set up to try to get some footage from that. So I don't know how it turned out. I hope it turned out okay. Where am I out here? Logan Witt, there's your shout out, man. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Art. How many places were paid and how many inches I win by? 2 places were paid, as we only had 7 people that ended up being able to make the trip. So it was 2 places paid. I won, I think it was $700 and some odd dollars for first place, and then Big Fish paid $300 and something dollars, and then Jesse O'Neill got second place. He won $300 and something dollars, and my score was 247 and a quarter, and Jesse's was 196. Stick string, did I encounter any gators? Yes. Man, when that sun come out, them gators come out. They were everywhere. And I don't do no alligators. I know all the people that live over there, that are local to them, they don't worry about them. But man, when you in them small canals and you see a gator as big as your kayak, it was nerve-wracking to me, to say the least. Clinton Payne, got to know the rules. I tell you what, man, knowing the rules helped me this week. It really did, because if I had been out there fighting that wind in the kayak, as bad as it was on Friday, I wouldn't have been able to put in the time. Even if I'd been able to maybe catch some fish out there doing that, no way in hell I would have been able to stay out there 13 hours that I put in on Friday in that kind of wind. I wouldn't have been able to do it. It would have beat us to death. I don't think any of the guys put in that much time on Friday because it was just so bad. Kenny Marshall, hope you get to pick the spot next year. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, if I do, we're going somewhere with cell phone reception. I'll tell you that. Hey, thanks, Eric, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Charles. Sorry, guys. Let me scroll through some more of these comments here. I prefer home water or Santee. Well, obviously, I prefer my home water because it's close to home. I can sleep in my own bed every night. But I tell you what, if I had some time to really dedicate to fishing Santee Cooper, I have no doubts I would catch more and bigger fish there than what I catch here. It is just a awesome fishery. Awesome fishery. There was a 70-some-odd pound fish caught there earlier in the week. I met the guy that caught it at one of the boat launches. He was there and he was talking to me about it. Unbelievable fishery. I mean, I only caught 8 fish over there, and 38 inches was the smallest one. I mean, they were all whoppers. It's just a unbelievable fishery. And to do it in shallow water, just amazing. Mr. Fell Fishing, there's your shout out, man. Hey, thanks for sending that sticker there with Jesse today. I appreciate that. Takes a Justin to beat a Jesse. That's the truth, man. Hey, Jesse O'Neill, he put up a awesome performance over there. I mean, I really thought yesterday around noon, I thought it was his tournament. I really did. I thought he was going to stick it to me. I mean, everybody, and the entire group of guys we had over there struggled to catch fish all week long. And Jesse, he stepped up and got it done. So congrats to him on that second place finish. Yeah, I wish Eric could have made it too. And it means a lot to me. I'm really excited. I mean, I'm really thankful that he donated his entry fee. He did not have to do that. Ron had talked about when we got over there that he might not going to be able to make it, and we were all cool with him getting his money back. You know, I mean, you can't help when things like that happen with your vehicle, and so for him to donate that money, it really means a lot to me. I'm going to reach out to him personally when I get his contact info. Clinton Payne, are you liking the demon hooks? Man, I love them Mustad Demon Circles. I'm getting all kinds of hookups with them. They're just an awesome hook. I don't know about no Hank Hill's crackbait. Thanks, Gary Moss. Swing guy, what's your definition of a big bait? You know, that's a good question. To me, a big bait's about, palm size, hand size, but really when you're talking about a big catfish, 50 plus pound, hand size bait's nothing than them. And if you get a big flathead, I mean, my gosh, a big flathead could easily swallow a 10-pound carp, no problem. So, big is really relative, but, I usually consider big baits for me about palm size. What group do you fish for? Catfish tournaments. Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers, TCKA. You can find them on Facebook or their website, Instagram. Ron's got everything set up there. Yeah, Clinton, I wish you could have been there too, man. I'd love to have you guys over there. Somebody else has given me some super chat money. I see it at the top of the screen, but I haven't scrolled down to the comment yet. Let me see if I can find them here. Well, I can't find that dang super chat. I want to give somebody a big time shout out for whoever give me that money, and I can't find them here. John Doe to the tournament director, give me a trophy for the prettiest tootsies. Well, I don't know what a tootsie is, but I like to think I'm pretty, so hopefully I'll get a trophy for that at some point. Fishing Not Catching gave me the super chat money. Thank you very much. He says, congrats from Arizona. Thank you very much for tuning in from Arizona. I really appreciate that donation. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you so much. I hope I got to your comment there before you signed off. I apologize that I'm so far behind on these comments, but I do appreciate that donation. Thank you very much. Richard Sykes, I won the thing, man. I would love to see you you and Dave do a bank video. Yeah, man, my thing with Catfish Dave out there, some of the places around here that you fish, they're just so tight windows, and I know Catfish Dave, he works all the time. He's got a limited schedule, and I don't want to get out there and interfere with him making a video. You know, it's just so hard to get two people together on the bank and both of them to be able to fish effectively. So I'd love to fish Catfish Dave. He's an awesome guy. I've met him several times. He's a great dude and one hell of a fisherman. He catches more big fish from the bank than what anybody around here I know of does, even from a boat. He is an awesome fisherman. Hey, Chip Sandwich finally made it to a live stream. How about that? Glad to have you, Chip. Let's see here. Shane Hacker, where did you stay at Canal Lakes, Black Hills? Caught a 70-pound blue. Hey, congrats on that big blue, man. No, I actually started out, I was staying at Lake Marion Inn in Santee, and it was a complete disaster. I'd booked that room through booking.com. Somebody screwed up. I don't know if it was booking.com or the hotel, regardless. They said I owed more money than I owed when I got there. And I spent an hour the first night trying to sort that mess out. Still didn't get sorted out. The next night I went in, they had charged me a cancellation fee. And I'm like, how the hell did you charge me a cancellation fee when I didn't cancel? I'm here. So I ended up leaving, and I went and got an Airbnb down in Somerville, which was either direction was 45 minutes. I launched at the hatchery. That's where I spent my time on Lake Moultrie. And either way, it was a 45-minute drive, but the Airbnb worked out much better down there. It was cheaper and cleaner and quieter and had good Wi-Fi, so I could go live, you know, when I got back to the room there. And so that worked out well. Everybody seems to want that collaboration with Catfish Dave. I'll try to make it happen at some point. I don't know if he'll be up for it or not, though. What's the bait you finally abusing that you were given or bought? Well, I used some gizzard shad that Brendan Jackson gave me on my first 2 days of fishing. But, you know, I don't like using gizzard shad that's more than about 24, 48 hours old. So I ended up buying some bait, bought some frozen mullet and some herring while I was over there, which wasted my money because I couldn't catch squat on any of it. But I caught some white perch. White perch are just everywhere over there. It's super easy to catch. And so I use them. Just click the super chat at the top. Hey, thank you for that. It's good to know. I'm still learning all this live stream stuff. I could see the amount up there, but I couldn't see who had got it. So thanks for letting me know that. 306 people in the chat. Really? There's that many people in here? Wow. Hey, here's another one. House Stargaren. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? Is that what that is? That's awesome. He gave me $2. Thank you for that. Let me tell you, if that's a Game of Thrones reference, I wasted about 2 weeks of my life this summer. I started watching that, and I couldn't stop. That's one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm in love with the Dragon Queen on there. She is hot. She's a 10, and I'm in love with her. She's right up there with Disc Golf Barbie on Instagram as far as women who I'll never have a chance with that I'm in love with. But yeah, that Game of Thrones, man. I watched that 2 weeks of my life gone. Bobby Luffman Jr., what structure did you find that set you up for winning this tournament? Man, I was fishing at the hatchery, and the hatchery is a long canal that loops around just a few feet deep, and it's basically just in front of that is one huge flat full of cypress stumps. Really shallow water, and you've got about a mile or more out to deeper water out in the main channel. And I was set up in the back of that thing, man. I was set up in the back of it. There's a little cut there that's about, I think it's probably normally 7 or 8 feet deep when the water's at normal pool. And it was about 5 feet deep out there this week. And I set up there, had my baits out, and just waited, just bank fishing. Like Catfish Dave says, there was water there. So I know there's catfish in the water, and I threw a piece of cut bait out there, and they come along and got it. So just right place, right time. Oh, here we go now. Let me click on one of these super chat things because they keep popping up, man. Y'all are awesome. GB, $5. Love your fishing tips. Hey, thanks, GB. I'm glad you find them helpful, and I really appreciate that super chat. Here's another one. Combat Carl fishing, $20. Hey, thank you, Combat Carl. I appreciate that. Guys, I really appreciate this super chat money. I mean, it really helps with the expenses of these tournaments, but I don't want anybody to ever feel like you got to pay me anything for these videos and tips and all that. It's my pleasure to do it. I enjoy doing this, and of course, I get ad revenue too from, all the views I get here from YouTube. So I truly appreciate all these contributions. I really do, but I don't want anybody to ever feel like that you have to give me money or anything. I really don't want you to do that. Where'd I go here? Sorry, I lost track of the comments again. Joshua Peterman, biggest blue is 45. Hey, that's a big blue, man. There's Combat Carl. Good job. Thank you, Combat Carl. And again, thank you for the super chat money. House Targaryen, thank you very much again. Did I use the chicken breast with WD-40? No, I didn't do that, man. All the chicken breast, WD-40, garlic powder, Kool-Aid, marshmallows, ivory soap. Man, people, I like fresh fish. That's what I like to use for bait. Hey, there's Fat Boy Dan, Great Adventures, man. That's awesome. Thanks for stopping by. The original OG. Don't watch the end of the series. I assume you're talking about Game of Thrones. I actually liked the end of the Game of Thrones. I thought it was a fitting end to it. Yeah, Matt Moore, I can't believe there's 320 people in this chat, man. It blows my mind. I don't know why people interested in hearing me talk, but I'm thankful to have every one of you. All right, here's another one right here. $10. Cody Christofferson. Dude, totally loving your videos in the live chat. You or why I've started kayak fishing. Hey, thank you for the donation, Cody, and I'm glad you're taking up kayak fishing. It is just super addictive, man. It's so much fun, especially when you're catching these big fish and stuff. It's just a blast. I fished from a boat from a long time. I got my first boat when I was 17 years old, and I didn't get into catfish until my early 20s. And when I caught my first catfish out of a kayak, I was hooked, and the boat it was collecting dust on the carport, and I was like, man, I ain't using this boat anymore. Might as well just sell it. And I had a Jeep at the time, the Jeep Cherokee, and I was like, I don't need to be driving this gas guzzling SUV when I ain't ever using the boat, because that's the only reason I had it, So I sold the boat, sold the Jeep, got me a compact car, and that's what I hold a kayak with. And I love kayak fishing, man. Just absolutely love it. Let's see, where am I at here? What's a good fishing kayak for around $300 to $400? Need to be at least, well, good luck, Blake Smith. I hope you can find one. There's $300 kayaks, but you get what you pay for. It's going to be a piece of junk if you buy a new one. That's going to limit you to like a Sun Dolphin or cheap Pelican or something like that. I wouldn't recommend any of them kayaks. I'd save up a little bit more. Once you get into that $500-$600 range, then you can get a quality used kayak. Get you one that's 2 or 3, 4 years old from a major brand, and that's going to give you a better kayak fishing experience, having a better quality kayak. And kayaks, they're just plastic, man. People all the time, they buy a new kayak this year, use it for a few months, sell it, get the newest model. And they take a huge loss by doing that. And I'm like, these kayaks are just plastic. If you're going to scrape the bottom of them, sure, dragging across rocks and stuff. But a heat gun and some scrap plastic, and you can plastic weld just about anything back together. I mean, they're just, looks like a good kayak will last you a long time. Mark Reeves says, every woman I'm in love with is about 6 levels above me. I feel you, man. I feel you. Same way with me. My girlfriend will kill me for saying that, but that disc golf Barbie on Instagram. Oh, I love her. Nathan King says he's completed the series twice. Man, I'll probably end up watching it again too. Where am I at here? Sorry, guys, I lost track of the comments again here. I get talking to rambling on, and then my thumb leads off the screen and the comments disappear, and I have to scroll back through them. No time left before winter. Do you try Carolina rig? Let's stick them next spring. Well, I hope it warms up for you quick up there. Awesome road win. Yeah, Will Loy, I'm thankful to get it. That was It was a hard-fought win. Whoever would have ended up winning this week, even if it wasn't me, they would have earned it. It was tough conditions. Anthony Brothwaite, any good cheap catfishing rod? Yeah, man. I use ugly sticks. They used to be $27.99 when I bought mine. I think they're about $40 now, but some of my ugly sticks are 15 plus years old and still going strong. Jeremy Richardson, you're the reason I got a kayak too. Hey, that's awesome, Jeremy. Hope you enjoy it. Yin Chang, do I do saltwater? Not regularly, just because I don't live around here. But if I go to the beach or something, go on vacation, yeah, I do. I took a trip down to Puerto Rico a few years ago. Did some tarpon fishing down there. That was awesome, man. Puerto Rico is awesome tarpon fishery. Gilbert Torres, extremely humble man. We appreciate what you do. Hey, Gilbert, I had every intention of the world to talk some smack to these guys this week over there, but I could not make it happen with the poor cell phone service. But I was wanting to rib them a little bit and stick it to them a little bit, but I just couldn't make it happen. A muzzleloader camp, do you see yourself getting and fishing from a boat? Yeah, at some point I will, again, just physically. I mean, kayak fishing's it's either a young man's game or it's a person who don't fish very often's game. And I fish a lot and I like to fish long hours, and it's hard to do in the kayak. The new kayak I got, that Hobie Pro Angler that I got a few months ago, it's going to help me extend my kayak fishing time longer, just because it's more comfortable, it's easier on my back. But at some point, yeah, I'll have to go back to a boat at some point. Well, thank you, Swin Gallagher. I appreciate that. Thank you, Combat Carl. I appreciate the compliment and certainly the super chat money too. I'm just amazed people are interested in this. We're at 41 minutes now. People still tuning in. Hey, Fishing with Jackson. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate all. I couldn't have done this tournament without you, man. Do I know Catfishing Carp on YouTube? No, I've never met him. I've seen some of his videos, but I don't know him personally. And Cody Christopherson, my final tally was 247 1/4 inches. That's what it took to win there. Mark Reeves, how deep into the year will I fish year-round? I fish year-round. I don't like fishing in the winter as much, not because the fishing's not great. It is. You can catch some really big fish here in the winter, but I'm a pansy in the cold weather. I don't like the cold, but I'll get out there and tough it out anyway. Where am I at here? G-Dog the Savage. Any hints for catfishing spots in general? Well, I'll tell you something, G-Dog. I thought I was a decent catfisherman before I went over there to this tournament. And going over there to Santee Cooper and catching fish in such a way that I've never caught them before, I realized, you know what, I don't know jack squat about catfishing. I don't know a damn thing. Them fish being over there that shallow after a major cold front had come through, I don't know. Every body of water fish is different. Every single body of water fish is different. You get them figured out here, and you go over there, and things don't work right. It reminds me of that wrestler, Rowdy Roddy Piper from the 1980s. He had that catchphrase, when you figure out the answers, I change the questions. That's how I feel about catfishing. You figure them out on one body of water, and you go to another, and you got to learn all over again. Rick Williams, why did you switch from the native to the Hobie? My friend Travis, basically, he cost me a lot of money. I fished out of that native Ultimate I had. It was a 2007 model. I fished out of it for 6 years and loved that kayak. Absolutely loved it. Paddled it everywhere. And my friend Travis, he bought a Hobie Pro Angler. And we were out there, I was fishing with him, and I had looked at the Hobies and loved them, but I just couldn't justify spending that kind of money. I didn't think it was worth it. And we're out there paddling back one day, or I was paddling, he was pedaling, and going against the current back to the launch, and the wind had picked up a little bit and it's blowing downstream. And it wasn't blowing bad, and the current wasn't bad, but it was enough that I had to give it everything I had to keep going forward. And I look over at Travis at one point, and he's just casually pedaling along, playing on his phone. And I thought, oh, you son of a, you know what? I got to get me one of them Hobies. So that's why I ended up switching from the native to the Hobie, just for the pedal drive. And I'm thankful I did. I mean, the pedaling, I've had issues with the pedaling now as I've gotten, a little bit older. It's having sciatic issues and whatnot. But Going from the paddling to pedaling, it expanded my range so much out there, and I can fish in much worse weather conditions. So I missed the simplicity of paddle kayaks, but I wouldn't have the YouTube channel that I have today. I couldn't crank out this amount of videos if I was still paddling. I just wouldn't be able to fish as much, due to the weather and water conditions and whatnot. So some more people thanking me here and congratulating me. Thank you all. Combat Carl says, fine bait, catfish will be near. That's the truth, man. That's the truth. Matthew Harper, what ugly stick rod do I use? Just the ugly stick catfish series. I use a 7-foot. It's a medium heavy, but really it's more of like a in between, I would say, of a medium heavy action. It's really lighter action than a lot of medium heavy action rods. Andre Williams, what's the best way to catch a flathead? Most people say live bait. I do better here on cut bait. Jared Smith, thank you. I fish out of a PA-12. I'm 6'2", so you got a 62. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I hope I'm still kayak fishing at age 62. I hope I am. Corbin Bell, how was Santee? I loved it out there, man. Santee Cooper was just a beautiful area. I mean, it's, around here where I fish on Tennessee River, everything's built up. It's populated. There's houses everywhere, houseboats all over the place. Santee Cooper, I mean, it's just, all you can see is water and swamp out there in a lot of them places. And it's just awesome to be out there and be that secluded. And just a great fishery, too. Great fishery. Charles Linehan, when am I going to release the videos? Good question. I'm going to work on editing them tomorrow. I hope to have one up on Tuesday. I don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2 videos. It's going to be a long video for sure on the tournament days, but I don't know how my footage turned out for my 2 practice days because I only caught 1 fish on them 2 practice days. So I don't know how that's going to end up working out. Jason Percy, what do I do for work? I work in healthcare. I do contract work, so I'm able to kind of work my schedule. I work a lot during the winter months, and I take some time off during the warmer months. G-Dog, thanks for the answer. I ever fished Douglas Lake? I fished on Douglas, yeah. I never catfish up there. I've been bass fishing up there, but I don't get up there too often. B-Rad Ring, nice cat, 40 question mark. Yeah, I had caught 8 fish over there on Santee Cooper, and 7 of the 8 was over 40 inches. Hey, thanks, Combat Carl. Appreciate you tuning in, and thank you again for the super chat money. Joseph Holman, good to see that Vols hat didn't hold you back. Oh, man. I tell you what, hey, the Vols got a big win this weekend, buddy. I got a big win. Everybody in Tennessee's happy right now. Anthony Brothwaite, what do you think about live minnows for bait? I mean, live minnows are bait for bait are good for a lot of species. I don't necessarily use them for big catfish, but you catch a lot of small catfish on them. Any thoughts on the new Hobie 360 going for just under 5K? One lost dude. Well, what something's worth is dependent upon the person, really. I'm not going to buy the new Hobie for 5K. I'm not going to do it. It just wouldn't benefit me. The type of fishing that I do, I don't need the 360 drive. I mean, hell, I don't even use the reverse on the Hobie that I got. But if I was a bass fisherman and I was a competitive bass fisherman doing the tournaments, I could definitely see the benefit of having that 360 drive. I mean, being in tight places, being able to hold your position, it's going to benefit a lot of those guys, and they're going to sell a lot of those kayaks. I already know a lot of people that's ordered them, so it's going to be a big hit. But as for me, it's not worth the extra cost for me. I wouldn't use it enough. Hell, I don't even use the Mirage drive that much anymore. I pretty much use the Torpedo that I have. Let me get some more comments here. Let's see. Todd Poole, have I ever played disc golf? Yes. I play disc golf pretty often, actually. That's kind of my other hobby besides fishing. I'm terrible at it. All the years I've been playing, I think I started playing 2012 or so, 2013. I've never gotten any better at it, but I love playing. It's a lot of fun. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I know I'm having to skip over some comments here just to try to get to all of them here. I apologize. Do I ever catfish in the banks at pond? No, I don't ever do that. Clinton Payne, a lot of new members coming to Trophy. I hope so. I hope we get some people in there. If I ever fished Norris Lake, I've been up there, but I don't ever fish for catfish up there. Combat Carl, did you give me another $20? You do so well with the videos. I love the details. I just bought a boat now. Man, I don't know if that's your original or new, but either way, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's a big help. It really is. Noah Bishop, have you ever used bullheads for bait? No, I don't ever catch any bullheads around here. Wish I did, but I don't ever catch any. Jason Percy, congrats on the win. Thank you. Hey, there's Muddy River Catfishing. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you coming in. I don't know what this Lopez guy, I don't know if he's joking or if he's trying to get himself blocked. Wait, why? We've been through all these comments. Where are my haters at? I was wanting to block somebody tonight. I can't believe we've been doing this 50 minutes now and I ain't blocked a single person. That yard sale video I did a few weeks ago, hell, I didn't make it 5 minutes without having to block somebody. Where are my haters at? Matt Moore says, Muddy River in the house. That's how you know you're in the big league. Hey, that's the truth, man. Chris Flores, he was one of the originals on YouTube. I mean, he paved a path for people like me to be able to come on here and film ourselves, and I'm very appreciative. I got to talk to Chris Flores on the phone a few months back, and super nice guy. I enjoy talking with him. I hope to make it out there to fish with him someday. One lawsuit says I should challenge disc golf Barbie. I'd love to, man. I'd take her on any kind of challenge. She's awesome. Watch her Instagram. Get a few more followers after tonight. Cake Boy says, "What's the best way to catch catfish in a pond?" Man, I have no idea. I don't ever fish from a pond, but I'd say to use whatever bait's natural there. I've ever been to Lake Cumberland in Kentucky, and no, I've never fished out there. That's on the other side of the world from me here. I don't leave East Tennessee too often. Unless it's for work. I got to travel for work all the time when I go on the road. So when I'm home and not working, I pretty much stay home. I'm a homebody when I'm home. Tennessee Hiker says, block Lopez. He's a clown. He's trying to get blocked, ain't he? I may block him just for the hell of it. I'm in a blocking kind of mood. Swing Gallery, I really want to see you use channel cats for bait. I did it in a recent video. Didn't catch nothing on it, but I'll use them little suckers. I'll tell you what, though, when it was about 10 o'clock last night and I hadn't finished out my limit, I was begging for a channel cat. I was absolutely begging. I would have took any kind of fish to finish out my limit. I was flatheading before cell phones and YouTube. Hey, that's awesome, man. Keith Hensley, disc golf Bobby appears to be a gator. I know, Keith. I'm trying not to hold that against her. She's too hot for me to hold it against her. But she's got a boyfriend, too. I'm trying not to hold that against her either. But I'll turn her into a UT fan if I ever meet her. Sorry about the last. One lawsuit. Are you closer to Knoxville or Chattanooga? I'm closer to Knoxville. I live just a few minutes from there. I'm just a couple miles away from Fort Loudon Dam. Shane Hacker, so you fished around the hatchery. How deep were you fishing? What was the biggest fish of the tournament? I'm assuming you're still at Santee. Well, let me answer your question, Shane Hacker. Yes, I was at the hatchery. I was fishing about 5 feet deep. The biggest fish for me was 45¼ inches, and that was the biggest fish of the tournament. I won the big fish prize for that. And I actually made it home. I got home about an hour ago and got settled in here and thought I'd do this live stream and just answer some questions for you. Because I know a lot of you had questions about what I was doing, where I was at and all that. And I just couldn't answer that while I was over there. I didn't want to give the competition any help. We were all struggling to catch fish. And, you know, somebody knowing what bait to use or what depth could have been the ticket to my demise, you know. So I wanted to keep that info private until the end of the tournament. I've ever made a video fishing with a fan. Yeah, I hope to do that, you know, at some point. I've had a lot of people, I get requests all the time for me to take them fishing, and I usually just tell people no because, you know, it's a hassle to set everything up, and I'm not a fishing guide. I looked into doing the whole fishing guide thing, not because I want to, but just because I had so many requests for it. and went as far as to look up insurance and research that. Talk to a company about supplying me with some kayaks for it, but ultimately I just didn't want to do it. And as far as taking people, there's a legal liability there. If something goes wrong and I'm making money off of posting YouTube videos from the ad revenue, there's a liability issue there. And being that I work in healthcare, specifically I work ER, I work in emergency room, I know how people are. I know how I've dealt with so many people who've come in with injuries, and the first thing out of their mouth is, I'm suing that person. And I've worked too hard. I'm like all you all. I'm the same type of person, man. I've worked hard. I had to bust my ass for everything I got in life, and it's just too big a liability, for me to take the risk of getting sued if somebody gets hurt. But I want to try to do some stuff with some people at some point in time. But I really need to kind of get to know the person first, I feel like, before I take them out, and make sure they ain't some crazy psycho person. There's some weirdos on this internet, man. There really is. You wouldn't believe some of the comments and some of the messages that I've got. Brumley Bros, have you ever used goldfish for bait? No, I haven't. I've had requests to use it, but I'm too damn cheap to buy the things. Cody Christopherson, I live a few miles from Lake Louisville here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We have the best of both worlds. A disc golf course, half a mile from the boat launch. Man, you are in prime real estate down there. Disc golf, and it's close to the water. That's awesome. Let's see here. What is my favorite cheap kayak? Probably the Native Ultimate, man. I bought my old used Native Ultimate for $700. It was a 2007 model, and I think I got it in 2010. But I mean, you can find them on Craigslist and Facebook all the time for $500, $600, and they're an awesome kayak for the money. You really can't beat them. Hello, bass and fishing. Any advice for first-time catfishing on a small boat? Yeah, I mean, really, man, anything that you see in my videos, it'll transfer over to the boat. I mean, kayak, boat, it's all the same. I mean, it's just what platform you're fishing from. So, yeah, I try a little bit of everything. Try anchoring, try suspending, try dragging, figure out what technique you like. But just try to cover as much water as you can. I mean, put your time in out there. You'll figure that body of water out in no time. Toledo, just shoot a bank fishing video with a fan, no liability there. Yeah, unless they fall and break an ankle or something. Or I hook them in the back trying to make a cast. Hey, thanks, Danny. I appreciate that. Christina Helms, thank you. Toledo, I think using goldfish is illegal in some places. Yeah, it probably is. It's a legal bait here, but it probably is illegal in a lot of places. I'd love to see you fish Kerr, Bugs Island, North Carolina. Hey, I'd love to make it up there, man. That's another just huge trophy cat fishery. I'd love to get up there. Travis Baird, I won this weekend, man. Thanks for tuning in. It's frisbee golf, not disc golf. Been playing for 20 years. Well, whatever you want to call it, I suck at it, but I love playing. How's it going? Enjoyed your stuff. Hey, thanks, Lanny, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you always commenting on my videos. Thanks, Chance Dodson. James Holland, thanks. Combat Carl got him a 20-foot crestliner, man. He's set up. Jesse Garcia, ain't nothing wrong with the John boat, man. That's a good platform to fish from. Junkyard 129. Hey, Gary, what's my flathead count so far this year? I think I'm still sitting at 85. I think somewhere 85, 86, something like that. Brumley Boys, what's the biggest flathead I have caught? Weight-wise, I never weigh them, and a lot of the big ones I measure or I've caught, I really didn't measure fish until this year for the tournament purposes, but I did get a 44-incher earlier this year, which is probably up there close to one of my biggest. Jared Smith, were all my fish blues? Yep. Yeah, all my fish I caught over there were blues. Rocky Roney, I won. Yep. Lanny Seals, congrats. Thank you. Hey, Kid Cash 23. Hey, Craig Hanley. Hey, Cody Christopher, man, you gave me another $10. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Says I went to the OU game at Tennessee in 2015. I gained a lot of respect for UT fans. Well, fun fact, man, I was there too. I was there at that game also. Just awesome experience. If you get to go to Neyland Stadium, it's anybody, if you're a Tennessee fan especially, please make a trip to Neyland Stadium. It is a awesome experience in that stadium. That place is rocking when it's not so much these days, but back when we were good and relevant, that place was just on fire. But thank you there, Cody. I really appreciate that super chat money. I really do. That's very kind of you. Any big cats in Cherokee Lake? Yeah, man, Randy. There's a lot of them up there. I don't ever fish up there, but I know people who do get good fish up there. Everybody's debating with disc golf or frisbee golf, and hell, it makes no difference to me. I just get out there and go play. Get out there in these parks. It's free. I can take my dog with me. When I travel on the road for work, I'll take my disc golf stuff with me. That way, I can just go out there and I've played disc golf several states. It's always a great experience to get out there and see their parks and see the states. Red Rockets, can I borrow your horseshoe for a while? Man, that horseshoe is so far up my ass. I've been so lucky here lately with the fish I've caught and all the good things that's happened to me. There's definitely a horseshoe somewhere around me. B-Rad Ring, what bait did you catch the big one on? Is the bait different there? I caught my biggest fish on white perch. Now, I did catch the one fish I caught on my practice days. I caught it on a gizzard shad head, and that fish would have been my second biggest fish of the tournament had I caught it on tournament day. It was like 44 inches. So, but yeah, white perch over there, man, they're everywhere, easy to get, and the catfish love them. Hey, thanks, Tom. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Razor. Thanks, Cody Halverson. If I ever use live shad bluegill for catfish, yeah, man, I got several videos of that. Cameron Palmer, what's up, Justin? Huge fan here, moving Tennessee south of Nashville soon. You'll be down there then on the Cumberland. I don't ever fish down there, but you'll have some good fishing down there by you. Hey, Mark. Wow, 30-pounder on a spinnerbait. That's a heck of a time. Any videos from tournament? Yeah, there will be some. Yep. Oh, Anthony Johnson, you don't have to give me money, man. I appreciate it, but I really don't. I'd rather you spend that money on yourselves. I really would. I appreciate the money, but it's not necessary. It really isn't. Butch Jones cost us that OU game. Man, Butch Jones is still costing us games right now. What are you talking about? We still paying him too. I mean, you want to talk about somebody with a horseshoe up their ass? That's the man. He's sitting down there on Nick Saban's couch right now, collecting huge checks from us, and didn't do nothing for us but run this program. Y'all listen, y'all gonna get me talking Tennessee football here, and this live stream's gonna go down the crapper. Nothing gets me more fired up than talking about how bad we suck as a program. But we're getting better though. Pruitt's turning this thing around. These guys are playing hard. Let me get back to this here, these comments. Bobby says, how many alligators you see out there in the water? A bunch, man. Friday, we're talking about it dropping the temperature and getting colder. When that sun came out, they were still out there everywhere on the bank, just basking. Gary, ever take your dog out in the water, boat or kayak? I used to take him out when I had my boat, but not on the kayak. He's too fat. He's like 70 pounds. He's too heavy. Alan Bennett, check out Catfish Sumo rods. I actually have a Catfish Sumo rod. I'm friends with the owner of that. He gave me one of them to try out last year. He's Daniel Catfish Sumo is an awesome guy. Sean Paxson, what do you do for work? You said travel. Yeah, I don't like saying my specific job role because people can look you up. But yeah, I work in healthcare. I work in the emergency department. Man, is there really over 500 people in this chat? I can't see the number up there, but somebody, Matt Moore, just said there was. That's amazing. We're 64 minutes in. There's that many people in here. That's crazy. Kayak crazy. I'm living the dream. Walmart Dolphin. Hey, man, a lot of people buy them things. A lot of people do. They have a big seller there. Toledo, no, I've never bought any on eBay. I never bought any bait on there. I bought my jigs on there. That's awesome, Barney. I'm glad you like fishing. Craig Hanley, I'm supposed to tell you my wife says hi and is still waiting on your old yak. Well, hi to your wife. I still got that old yak. If she wants to come buy it, it's hers, man. Tell her to bust out the purse. You ever get on Gunnersville, Alabama? I'm going to make it down there at some point, but I ain't got down there yet. Thank you, Matthew. No, never been over there to I guess, Baden Lake in North Carolina. Junkyard, any cost-effective trolling reels you can recommend? I'll tell you what, Gary, them Okuma Classic CLX 300 reels that I got, they're about $30, and I ain't tore one up yet. I mean, those are awesome reels for the money. Probably the best reel for the price, in my opinion. Barney, where are you from? Love the accent. I'm from East Tennessee, born and raised. Muzzleloader Camp, what tournament will you enter next? I don't have anything on the horizon. Probably some more TCKA tournaments when they start up again. Maybe some more. I'll probably do some, that Fishing for Soldiers tournament, the bass tournament I fish. I fished it the last few years. I'll hit it up again. I believe it's October next year. It's always on the Tennessee bye week, Tennessee football. So I think it's in October next year. But that's the only tournaments I have planned up for now. Edward Costello, try living in Chicago and being a Bears fan. I feel you. Man, that kicker missing that kick for you all last week, I felt your pain, man. And whoever's making the call there to keep Mitch Trubisky in there, and I feel bad for you, man. Y'all need a new quarterback. I would have thought for sure. I know Colin Cowherd, I'm a big fan of. He was talking about Chicago maybe trading for Teddy Bridgewater or Cam Newton or something to, try to make a run at the playoffs this year while you got them that good defense. But I don't think y'all gonna go anywhere with Trubisky as quarterback. He just ain't what they thought. Travis Baird, y'all should have hired Michael Leach. Man, ain't that the truth? I would have loved to have Michael Leach, and we had him hired, but that idiot athletic director with that whole mess with the whole Greg Schiano, he had him up there, had him hired, and he got his ass fired, and that whole coaching mess was a debacle, man. It was a debacle. It felt like something off Days of Our Lives soap opera when that was going on. But I'm thankful we didn't get stuck with Greg Schiano. I don't want anybody involved with that whole Penn State scandal on our staff around here. Y'all gonna get me talking football, and we'll have this thing going all night. Got a whole bunch of numbers popping up here. I guess that's people in the comment thing. CFB Flash, how'd I do? I won. Thanks for tuning in. Mark Reeves, ugly stick rod size. 7 foot, medium heavy, the one piece. Hey, Cody, that's awesome, man. Glad you're doing so well with that transplant. Everybody saying congratulations. Thank you. No, never been to Branson, Missouri. CFB Flash, how old am I? I am 37. Cameron, Palmer, can I send you some homemade lures? Where'd I send them to? Yeah, man, if you want to. I appreciate that. Hit me up, send me an email, kayakcatfish247@gmail.com, and I'll send you my address. I got a post office box, so I'll send you that. Chance Dodson's been using the Gamakatsu hooks. Yeah, I used them for a long time. I liked them okay. I switched to the Team Catfish and liked them. Now I've been using the Mustad Demon Circles. They all good hooks. I mean, you all get good hookups with them. House Targaryen, just bought another shirt for my wife. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the merchandise. Wayne Murray showed up today at our award ceremony. He had one on. I was like, oh, yeah, you the man, Wayne. Thanks, Arkansas Slim. White Boy, what's your go-to meal during these fishing tournaments or just while you're out on the water regular days? Well, my regular fishing days around here, 4, 5, 6 hours, so I usually don't take anything with me other than just snacks. Out there on the water this week, I had junk food. I had potato chips and Cheez-Its and crackers and brownies and just junk, basically, and then I was eating fast food. I've ate fast food all week up there. Toledo, the Seahawks kicker almost blew it today. I ain't got to see nothing today, man. I've been on the road all day, so I'm going to have to catch up on the highlights today. See what's been going on. I'm kind of stuck right now, you know, in NFL. I love NFL, but I don't really have anybody to pull for. I mean, I'm a Tennessee guy, so for the longest time, you know, Peyton Manning, he's like a god around here. He could run for governor and win a landslide. So I was a big Colts fan and followed him to the Broncos. And once he went out, I kind of stayed with the Colts. You know, I was a Andrew Luck fan. I thought Andrew Luck was awesome, but now that he's gone, I need somebody else to pull for. I like rooting against Cleveland just because, you know, their owner is the biggest booster we got here at Tennessee, and you know, we can blame him for some of our coaching miscues, and so I root against Cleveland, but I don't really have anybody to root for in the NFL. Master of none. Football talk makes me want to go somewhere else. Hey, get the hell out of here then, buddy. Ain't nobody keeping you here. If you got better stuff to do, get on. Let's see if Jeremy Pruitt's a joke. I don't know, man. Jury's still out on him. We'll see. Red Rocket. No, I ain't never been up there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Lanny. Gary, it was Okuma Classic CLX 300. Or maybe 300 LA. See, I mean, Justin getting a little gray, aren't you? I probably got some gray hair after this week, man. It's been a long week. Long days up there. Randy Beck. Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's a big blue cat, 82 pounds. How close am I to the end of these comments here, guys? It's 71 minutes. I'm going to have to cut this off here at some point. Can I add an Amazon link on future videos for the Kumarel single? I'll tell you, you know, Gary, I'll tell you what the best way to do on them. If you will click on one of my videos from last year, one of my trolling videos or dragging videos, the link is in one of those videos, because that was the reels I was using at the time when I drag, because that's what I like to use. So they're in there if you just click on one of those videos. But hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being willing to use that link for me. Tom Manning, yeah, all right, yeah. I bet you all you Indiana people like Peyton too. He just seems like a good guy, you know. We'll take a kayak out on the Mississippi, Missouri River. I don't know that area, but I've heard the current flow out there is really strong, and I probably wouldn't chance it. If it's more than about a mile an hour, definitely more than 2 miles an hour, I ain't going to get out there in a kayak, at least not fishing like how I do. Ronnie's just tuning in. I ended up winning, man. You know what, this guy, hold on a second, y'all. We're going to block him. I'm done with him for tonight. You can only badmouth Tennessee football so long, and you get your ass blocked. Nathan King, should I go live when I'm fishing? I've been asked numerous times. I felt like it'd be boring as hell for y'all, but some of you seem to like this. I feel like this video tonight's probably boring as hell for most people. But I don't know. I was going to go live out there this week. I just didn't have the reception. Swing Gator, get some sleep. Man, I need some sleep. It's coming. I know, Saline Scott. You believe that? I'm still alive right now, 73 minutes in. People keep coming. I'm going to have to cut it off here soon, finally, though. I'm getting hoarse here. I'm losing my voice. David Terry, go Vols. Hell yeah, man. The first block. Man, I got a feeling, Toledo, there's going to be some more people blocked. Jesse Garcia, how can I buy one of your Kayak Catfish hoodies? Click down in the link or the video description here in this video. There should be a Teespring link. They're partnered with YouTube, and that's who the gear is from. They do all that stuff for me. They're like a third-party supplier type thing. They just cut me a commission on it. But that's who's got the hoodies. I had hoodies originally on Amazon, but $35 was the cheapest I could sell them for, and I didn't make anything at that price on Amazon. So Teespring, I was able to lower the price and still get a cut of the money. This is a lot more personal than usual. Yeah, man, I just answer the questions as people ask them. You would retire Candy Crush. Man, I think I'm on level 900 and something now at Candy Crush. Randy Beck, no cell service when you get towards lower end of Monk's Corner. Man, I'll tell you, they could use one more or two more towers out there. That's the truth. David Terry, you want a signed Kayak Catfish hoodie? That'd ruin the value of it, man. Richard Garcia, please tell my wife I need a kayak. Hey, tell your wife that you need a kayak. Let her know. You don't need me to tell her. I know you need one. Gosh, am I down here at the bottom of the comments? I think I might be. Looks like I'm getting a hang of live streaming. Man, I'm just winging it. I am just winging it on this stuff. It's live stream. I always said I ain't a live streamer, and here I am doing it. But y'all tune in, and I appreciate it. And y'all like it, I do it, man. Y'all run this show. I ain't a YouTuber without people who watch YouTube. So y'all like it, and I'll do it. Charles Linehan, are you a Dr. Pepper guy? I don't drink a whole lot of Cokes, but when I do, I like actual Coke or Pepsi. I have a Dr. Pepper every now and again, but I'm more of a Pepsi guy. Jones, family 4, please tell my husband Brad hi. Well, hi, Brad. Hey, thanks, Brett Carney. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Danny Cano. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Steve Kimber. I appreciate you watching all these videos, man. Can you sing us a song? What do you want me to sing? You don't want me to sing, I promise that. I ain't going to win no karaoke contest. If we're at the point of karaoke, it's definitely time to turn this live stream off. But I'll tell you what, guys, this event, the TCKA Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers National Championship, it was an awesome tournament. I had a wonderful time over at Santee Cooper. That tournament kicked my butt physically and mentally, but I wouldn't change a thing for it. I enjoyed it, and I hope you all give it a shot. You want to come out there and do some tournaments, maybe compete against me, take my national championship title from me, come on out. It's a lot of fun. So check them out there, Trophy Catfish Kayak Anglers. And yeah, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Thank you all who have donated the Super Chat money. Really appreciate it. Bernie Miles, he covered a big portion of my trip. He's a fan of the channel. Very thankful to him. So thank you guys very much.